The tableware that I use for setting a table is a service plate, a salad plate, and a soup bowl. Also, I place a bread plate for the appetizers and a cup and a saucer for the dessert course. Then for cutlery, I use a dinner fork, a dinner knife, a teaspoon, and a soup spoon. Also, I use a bread knife and a dessert spoon. Finally, I put a water glass and 2 wine glasses, one for red wine and the other one for white wine, and to round up a napkin. When I go grocery shopping, I try to help local farmers, so my first choice is always going to local market that they have the freshest produce and they are local. My shopping list is always the basic: flour, eggs, milk, some type of meat, vegetables like tomatoes, carrots, lettuce, avocado, broccoli, and some fruits like lemons, tomatoes, orange, apples. It's important to buy always organic fruits and vegetables, because in this way you know what are you eating and don't have any chemicals. Also, it's important to buy in the right season, so like that you guarantee that you are not eating a transgenic food. Also, I try to buy fresh meat and fish, so like that the organoleptic conditions are maintained and you are eating the best quality meat. The environment and make aware of what is happening with the world and how we can help it. In my house, what I do is, in first place, try to reduce the water consumption and, for example, use more of the dishwasher than cleaning the dishes in the sink, because in this way you reduce the amount of water that you use. And in second place, I try to reduce the amount of waste, so that the organic waste ends up in a composting plant, and the other waste, such as plastic or glass, they are taken to a recycling plant. My star recipe is a focaccia. To make focaccia, you will need 500 grams of bread flour, 25 grams of fresh yeast, 15 grams of salt, 50 grams of olive oil, 300 grams of water, 250 cherry tomatoes, and 4 rosemary sprigs. The first step is to put the flour in the kitchen counter and make 2 separations. In one of the separations, add the fresh yeast, and on the other one, on the external part, put the salt. Then add the water in both of the separation and mix until the yeast is completely dissolved, and you make on the other separation a type of gel. Now, when you have the gel, put the olive oil and mix until all the olive oil is incorporated with the gel. Now, when you have both of the separation are individually mixed, now you have to, with a scraper, mix both of them together, forming a dough. You have to knead the dough for 6 minutes, and it's normal that the dough at this point is is a little bit sticky, but you don't have to add any flour. Now place the dough in a baking tray previously covered with olive oil. Now let the dough ferment at room temperature up to double its volume. Cover the dough with a dishcloth or a plastic wrap. Now that we have our dough double its volume, with your fingers lightly covered with olive oil, start to spread the dough and make some holes with your fingers. Again, at this point, you have to leave the dough to rest and ferment at room temperature for about 30 minutes. Also, you have to cover with a dish cloth or a plastic wrap. Now that your dough is rest, now you can start to put the cherry tomatoes. Put the cherry tomatoes in the holes that you make with your fingers, and then you can place the rosemary sprigs. When you finish with this, you need to rest the dough for 5 minutes. Meanwhile, you preheat your oven to 200 Celsius. When your oven is at the right temperature, place the baking tray inside the oven and bake for about 35 minutes or until the dough is golden brown. When the dough is cooked, take out of the oven and let it cool down a little bit and enjoy it. To accompany the focaccia, I recommend to drink an Aperol Spritz. To prepare an Aperol Spritz, you will need a bottle of Aperol, a bottle of champagne, sparkling water, a wine glass, ice cube, and sliced orange. The first step is to fill the glass generously with ice cube. Then you have to first pour the 2 parts of Aperol over the ice. Then the next step is to pour 3 parts of champagne. And finish it with a dash of soda.